asked a challenging question which says something like, find the equation of the quadratic with the following graph. You can see you're given 3 points, the two x-intercepts and the y-intercept. Now, let's look at a similar example to this. For example, we might be given the graph y equals x minus 2, x plus 3, and in the exam, the only bit of information you're given is the x-intercepts, which are minus 3, 2, and the y-intercept, which is 0, minus 6. Now, you could use these 3 bits of information to find the equation of the line. The first thing I would like you to be aware of is the fact the red graph and the blue graph are exactly the same thing. Effectively, what we're looking at is the blue graph factorised is the red graph. But for this particular question, it's very useful to understand that this format works for all graphs. Now, even though this format works for all graphs, this doesn't encompass all types of graphs because technically you can multiply the brackets by a multiplier, for example, a, and you could change these numbers around here as well. So let's say, for example, our graph is y equals a, x minus 2, x plus 3, and we want to find, using this graph, not the red graph, what the equation of the line is. Now, we know the equation of the quadratic graph, not the line, is going to be 1.5 x minus 2, x plus 3. But let's say, for example, we haven't been given the 1.5. How would we calculate it? Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to have a look at the 3 points of interest like we did before. There we go. Now, this is how we'd set up the equation. We're going to say the equation is y equals and because we know all quadratic graphs have the form where there's an a brackets x and then a number and then x and then another number, we can complete this equation. Effectively, because it crosses at minus 3, one of the brackets is going to be plus 3. And because one of the brackets crosses at 2, this bracket's going to be minus 2. And now all we need to do is substitute in the information we have to find out what a is. So we're going to substitute now in the y-intercept, which is 0, minus 9. So whenever we have a y, we're going to replace that with minus 9. And then whenever we have x, we're going to replace that with 0. So we get the following. Minus 9 is equal to a brackets 3, because 0 plus 3 is 3, and then 0 minus 2 is 2, 3 times minus 2. Then all we need to do is solve this equation. You could do it on the calculator or you can do it algebraically. So we have minus 9 equals minus 6a. And then just to solve for a, all you have to do is minus 9 divided by minus 6. So then a is clearly going to be 1.5. This means that if a is 1.5, our overall formula is going to be the following. Y equals 1.5 x minus 2, x plus 3. So the way we got that equation was, first of all, assumed that the equation was something to do with a. We wrote down this formula. We then substituted a value for y and for x using the y-intercept as 0 minus 9. And then we discovered the a value was actually 1.5. So your answer would be y equals 1.5 brackets x minus 2 brackets x plus 3. Now, having a look therefore at these two questions, we would do a similar process. Let's see how we do this. First of all, we put the form. We take the minus 1, we change the sign. We take the 3, we change the sign. We put the a in front. Then we're going to substitute this coordinate, which is going to be 0, 3. So when x is 0, y is 3. So y is 3, x is 0. A is 1 times minus 3 equals 3. Solving that, a is minus 1. Just substitute it back into the original formula. Now, you've had a look at that. I'd like you to have a go at some of the questions.